Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel again today. I wanted to show you a cool deck I just managed to hit Legend with for the first time. I'm super happy that I was able to finally get that done. I just wanted to show you the deck that I did that with. I did not make this deck, which is something that I usually like to do, but in order to hit Legend, I don't have the deck skills in order to actually build a deck that's able to get me to Legend yet. A lot of the decks I build are really good and they get me, pretty far. They can usually get me to roughly, Diamond 5, but I've never been able to build a deck that got me through Diamond 5 to Legend. That is until I found this Exodia deck, and this was actually a deck I played with a while back just for fun, and I didn't really think anything of it, within the competitive ladder, but it was actually competitive enough to where I could actually hit Legend with it. And boom, check that out, 2,532. I never want to have to hit Legend again, I'll just be honest. The amount of pain of winning one and then losing one, being one win away from hitting Legend, stressful. Every time I saw that loading screen, I had like an anxiety I'd never felt before. But anyways, let me go ahead and show you the deck. So I actually had two variations here of this Exodia Mage, and you might have seen it posted around, you might have used it before. Nonetheless, I still feel like it's pretty cool, just to kind of show you. So this is the deck that I got through roughly, I hit Diamond 1 with this deck, but it wasn't quite good enough to get through all the Pirate Warriors and Face Hunters. I literally went to go make waffles, and 10 minutes later there was this new Warlock meta that had literally come out, because I got 3 Warlocks in a row, like right after I came back from a break, that were like literally nothing but counter mage decks. And I was like, I lost all 3 of that. It took me back to, Diamond 2. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take a break. And then surely enough I did. And I actually found a different deck while I was waiting. And just to kind of show you here really quick. On this HearthstoneReplay.net. I would definitely check this site out if you have not already, as this site will give you very valuable information on stuff. It was kind of funny because I'd actually deleted this Exodia Mage a long time ago until I came back to here just to kind of check out the decks, because I was interested in what this website could actually do, and I was trying to find decks that were pretty good that fit my collection, and I refound this Exodia Mage deck. And, leave it to me to take this this random 58% win, mage deck and actually hit Diamond with it. Well, actually, Diamond 1. It could probably hit, Legendary, if you got lucky enough, but I didn't really want to risk it. But long story short, I actually came back and I found this Exodia 2 version. So this is actually the second version. This is what you're looking at right here is the deck that I hit Legend with. Which basically the only difference in terms of the deck is that in Exodia 1 you have a Frost Nova and you only have 1 Ancient Mysteries, whereas in the Exodia 2 deck the Frost Nova is gone and you're just adding a second Ancient Mysteries for the extra chance at the Ice block. And let me just kind of go into how the combo works, which is actually fairly simple. So the only minions in this deck are the Sanctum Chandler and the Sorcerer's Apprentice. So for pretty much the entire game, you're not playing any minions, you're just getting hit in the face, which is why Ice Block is very critical, and why adding that second one was very necessary. So swapping over here to Exodia 2, you'll see there's no Frost Nova, and we do have the second Ancient Mysteries here. So basically, the entire goal is to draw the Sanctum and the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and then you will need a Molten Reflection, and you will need one of these two, Elemental Evocation Hot Streak, or a Conjurer's Mana Biscuit to make up for one of these two. And ultimately what happens when, the rest of this is all card draw to try and draw those up. And when you get those necessary cards, you're basically just taking Ignite, and you're basically just cycling it on the opponent until you lethal them. And you can typically do that by turn 5 or 6. So at most you want to have this as a turn 6 lethal. You can get it as a turn 5 lethal, but it's very rare when you can get it as a turn 5 lethal. And at the most, you definitely don't want to have to wait. You can pull it off at turn 7 and 8, but when you're up to Diamond, 2 and 1, if you don't have lethal by turn 6, you're probably dead. So that being said, I'm just going to run this in a casual match just to kind of show you here, because I just ran a victory lap in a casual match, and man, I can't even believe how easy it was to take out the opponent. That's like, I was joking in my head, it's like, wow, dude, you don't even have turn 6 lethal. And it's like, oh man, I'm just so happy to finally hit Legend, and I really can't wait to just kind of show you the demonstration of the deck here, just because I only play Mage, And as of, it's kind of funny because as of the last video, I had 2,070 wins as a mage. Now I'm at like 2,180. So just in the last 2 days, I played over 150 matches with this deck. So right off the bat, and looking at the mulligan chart here, I only go based off of the ones that are kept. So we only want the highest versions that are kept, which is usually Encanter's Flow, Ancient Mysteries, you know, the critical ones. So in this case, you know, Arcane Intellect it's 47% kept. That's always gone. I'm going to swap those out because that was less than a 50% kept rate. So good right off the bat, we already have 2 of the cards that we want. Well, I say 2. When you're in Diamond, you have that different mindset. So we're probably fighting a Face Hunter here, just like right off. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to draw the Secret out of the deck. It doesn't look like he's playing Sacred Hunter, which is already blowing my mind because how many times it's like every other person I was fighting was either a Pirate Warrior or like a quest hunter. So to see him play that for turn 1, like I can't even express how much that just eases my mind. So next turn we'll always want to play the Enchantress Flow as quickly as possible. If you get the coin, you always want to save that out until you get to turn 3, because then we already have the card draw for some of the other ones, which is good. So overall, this is a pretty okay hand. This is definitely not bad. It's not the greatest hand, just because of the card draw. We would have liked more optimal cards. But we did get the Enchanter's Flow, which is literally the most important card in this entire deck. Well, minus the very critical ones. So we're basically just going to get hit in the face until we draw the cards that we want. And luckily we have the Ice Block. And we have, you know, 3 more ways of getting the Ice Block, again, presuming he can dispel it, which the Quest Hunter can do at Diamond 1. So we're going to try and not play this as often as we can, because we don't want him to get cards. So we're going to do that. In this case, I am going to do this because it's the only card left, and I'd rather have the drawdown. And it doesn't look like we got anything else, but we can play the Refreshing Spring Water next turn, which helps a lot. Man, it's so weird to not be at like 8 health right now by turn 4. So we're gonna go into that one. We're gonna draw out our second secret. Sometimes you have to play unnecessary cards. So in this case, we'll play... so as you can see, it's like our hand is already pretty good. We're gonna swap this out, see what we get. So I think we already have all the cards we need at this point. We have the next elemental you play this turn costs 2 less for this, which lets us draw a fire spell whenever we... it lets us draw a spell whenever we cast a fire spell. And then we can... I don't have Hot Streak, but I do have the Biscuit. So that makes up for that now. And I'm going to mill next turn, but that's okay. Because next turn is turn 6, where we have the Lethal, and then we can play the Sorcerer's Apprentice with that. So hopefully... And I already have one of the Ignites, so even if we milled the other one, doesn't really matter. So whatever we mill next, who cares? He's dead. So sometimes this takes 2 turns to actually finish him off, but if you're lucky, which is why it's so important to draw it down, because the more cards you draw down, the faster it is to cycle the spells on him. So, which is why I played that card that gave him 2 cards, is just because I wanted to draw down in our deck to make that a little bit easier for when we just Exodia him, basically. So, at any other points in time, like at Diamond 1, that secret would have already been triggered, and I have 1 health right now. Okay, so what is the other Ignite? That does not matter, though, because we still have the second one, so we'll play that one after playing that. We now want to play that and this, and now we will do that, and now we will just start going crazy. So if you get like a second Molten Reflection, sometimes it's also good to like get double of these, so that way your draw power is a little bit quicker. And I'm going to go a bit slower here just so you can see, but we have technically 1 at this point. We basically have everything where we want it. So I'm just going to get rid of all these zeros. We can give him that, doesn't matter. And then let's take that so we can use the hero power. And we can hit ours at this point. So he has that. I hate that secret because it delays us. So sometimes it's not good to use the hero power, but we're in a good position because like even if we, because we have the secret, and we're still at 7 health. So as I said, sometimes it takes 2, but I did go a bit slower because I'm trying to explain this. But even still, so as you can see, it's like I think we might make it. I've just played this deck so much, and he's dead. And then you cycle like that by turn 6 lethal. So boom. Okay, so let's play that a little bit slower now. Now that we've seen the combo actually work at like full speed, let's just do another match. Man, I'd be really surprised. It could happen, but I'd be really surprised with my mindset right now, having gone through all of the complexities of being at that level. You know, and I say that, man. It's like I'm not a legendary level player. Let's just say that right now. I never intend on getting to that level ever again. But you know, I did it once, and I'm happy. I know that level of gameplay, at least up to legendary. You know, I'm sure it's even more intense. You know, into the legendary levels. I have no intention on ever getting to that level, but hey, for where I'm at right now, getting to Legendary was hard enough for me, so I definitely consider this an achievement. That being said, looking at my little list here again, we don't really need the Ice Block because we have like 4 other ways to draw that out, including just redrawing that. We're not going to go with you or you or you. So, and yeah, see what I mean? Now we've got like 3 different ways to draw the Ice Block right in our opening hand. But that's okay. Right away, like this could probably just result in a loss. I'll save the coin just in case we happen to draw the Incanter's Flow next turn, and then we can play the coin on turn 2 to play that out. So you should never play the coin on turn 1. I've never had to do that. So okay, at this point, like we automatically can play that next turn anyways. Like for example, like because we didn't get the Incanter's Flow, it's like next turn is turn 3 anyway, so we can just play it anyways. I don't always play that right away though, because sometimes like having a 0-cost Ice Block and a 3-cost Ice Block, it's so much easier to play the 0-cost when you have like almost no mana. So if you can get the 3 down, that's optimally the one you want to do if you can do that. And we have a useless card there, which is okay. It's why the Frost Nova was in the other deck, is because that happens. So we're going to draw 2 cards here and get that card draw, as I was saying. In this case, I am just going to play the Secret, because now we're at turn 4, and I have extra mana. So, and as our hand gets bigger, sometimes you don't want the Ice Blocks taking up the space, which is why, you know, you just kind of feel it out, and you just kind of, you know, play it as it is. So there it is, the Incanter's Flow. That helps a lot. I'm going to play the coin here. I'm just going to draw 1, because as I said, if we can get away with not giving him a card, then that's the way to go. By the way, you'll notice I've just like been completely disregarding this person's secrets. Like whenever you're playing a rogue, it's like my win rate against a rogue is like 90%. Nah, not even 90%. It's like 95%. My win rate against druids is about 95%. My win rate against warlocks, well, before they switched to a counter mage meta, was roughly 90%. Now it's more like 75%. You almost always lose against pirate. Well, actually, it's more like 50% of the time you win against face hunters and pirate warriors. I'm going to try and get some card draw here. We ultimately need the Sorcerer's Apprentice right now, because I think we have... Because we have this for this, and we have this in place of a Hot Streak. And we have the Molten Reflection, so at this point we just need to get the Sorcerer's Apprentice. And I'm at 9, so I'm not going to mill, which is good. I am going to start getting rid of this, though. You'll see how, like, because that comes back into your hand, like, it's better to, like, sometimes just, like, be able to get rid of it. While also trying to not kill his minions sometimes, because, like, when you're really low on Like if you get like a really bad hand and you're just trying to siphon out every last mana, you know, you're trying to basically get all the cards you need with as little mana as possible, and that can be really hard when you have, first of all, a full hand, and second of all, don't have a fire spell. Or I guess because you can play it twice, it gives you an extra chance at, well, basically being able to get the card that you're trying to draw for. Still don't have it. This card's useless, so we can just get rid of that. And we'll draw 2 more. Still don't have it. At this point, we're at turn 6, so we can just consume that. And draw some more. And we can exchange that. That doesn't help. So you'll see now that we have 2 of these elemental thingies. We don't need 2, so we'll just get rid of that. So we still have, you know, 9. This is what I mean, because now that can kill that one. And that's fine, whatever his secret does. And again, I'm going to exchange that at this point because I'm not in any immediate danger. Okay. So, okay, cool. You just milled that. And yeah, I really hate how, like, when you draw really low like this. I hate trying to hit turn 7. But luckily for us, this is just a casual match, so... I mean, we still have 1, 2... We have 2 card draws left. Yeah, 2 card draws left, so... I don't need the Molten Reflection. I mean, I'm not in any lethal position right now, so I mean, I'm pretty safe to just kind of not do anything right now. Except we do want to try and not take damage, which is why that's useful. And we'll start getting some damage down on them. What did that do? Okay, cool. That's actually good that we did that. Because that would have been an immediate counter to whatever we were going to do. Which means I have to now counter for that again, if they play another secret. Yeah, it was a really good thing I just did that ping with my hero power, because that would have been really bad had I gotten the combo down and he went immune for the whole thing. Luckily, this is why we have 2 Sorcerer's Apprentices and 2 Sanctums, because even if he did that and he destroys them, we're still not technically at risk, because we have 7 cards left in our deck. And did I just draw one of them? I just draw that one, so we'll do that to get rid of that. So now we're at 5 cards, so like even if he destroyed them next turn, we're still at a pretty good chance to draw our 2nd Sorcerer's Apprentice and our 2nd Sanctum. To where even if he destroyed what we're gonna put on the board, we can still just play it again. So that being said, we can probably pretty quickly finish this up. Actually, we can just play the combo next turn. And in this case, I don't need to do double Sanctum because of how little cards we have. You only really need to do double Sanctum and double Sorcerer's Apprentice when you have like 15 cards still in your deck, and you just need, whenever you cast a spell, you want to draw 2 of them out in a single run. Otherwise, you know, we're only at 5. We're going to be at 4 when we draw next turn, which puts us... Well, actually, he just went immune, so we're not going to do anything. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And again, this is sometimes where like having like Frostnova comes into play, because not only can we, you know, have 2 ice blocks, but we could also freeze all the minions, potentially saving us damage. Of course, he has a weapon in this case. But yeah, hopefully he doesn't go immune next turn. This might actually be the first time I've lost against a rogue if he goes immune again. Nah, he's dead. Okay. I'm so glad that we can manage this. So yeah, whatever we mill, it doesn't matter. Hopefully it's not the Ignite. Okay, it's the Ignite. But that is okay. Actually, we didn't even mill that. That's good. Well, you. And then we will do this. We'll take the biscuit. And it's tempting to want to multiply that, but it's better to be safe here. So we still have 52 seconds roughly. We should be okay. We only have 1 of them in the deck, so we're not cycling between. We're lucky. This is actually kind of good for us because when you have two, it like cycles between a lower number and a higher number. In this case, it's only ever going up by one. So at this point, I mean, he's pretty much dead.
I'm almost out of cards.
And by pretty much, I mean, yeah, he's completely dead. Just for fun, let's do that.
I'm almost out of cards. Time runs out on me. I'm out of cards.
That's what I mean, actually. I didn't realize I had the second one. I totally forgot I had the second one. I've only been playing the one. That's funny. But hey, it works out, because as I was saying, like, it only ever goes up by one. So, which is fine. And as I was saying, a casual match. But that was definitely, that error I just made was not one you would want to make when you're actually going up against, like, diamond level play. And that totally just skipped my head. It might just be because I've played probably 100 games today, and my mind's just had it. It's like 4:08 in the morning right now. And I'm just kind of, you know, not up to that same level as I was earlier today. But yeah, that was pretty much the deck. I'll link the deck code for sure if anybody wants to use it, you know, for the end of the, you know, current, or I guess for the end of the month, or, you know, start next month. What I thought was absolutely crazy though was the fact that this is what got me to start using this deck instead. Was it literally went up like today to like what says a 100% win rate. It's not 100%, you know, in terms of the win rate, but that was enough of a change in the 68, you know, 58% win rate of the other deck to what I'm seeing here as a 100% win rate. You know, I was like, okay, we can make that one little tiny small change, and surely enough, that was making huge differences. So I'll link this deck code in the description so you guys can have some fun with this. You know, maybe test it in casual first. I played probably 10 practice matches in the expert mode just to get the hang of it. You know, I'd recommend even playing maybe 15 or 20 practice matches before taking this into a casual match 1 or 2 times, because it's good to be able to kind of see, you know, the combinations that you're trying to play, you know, while you have unlimited time to be able to try and, you know, calculate what is doing what. And then you can actually, you know, jump into a casual match where it's a little bit more timed, you know, and start doing a bit quicker. Luckily, the amount of time that they give you to actually execute the, you know, the rotation in this case is actually pretty long. It's a little over a minute. It's like a minute and 15 seconds if you, it's usually a minute to a minute and 15 seconds. If you can get, you know, the full time, that's great. Sometimes you get less than that though, which makes it really annoying to try and pull that off. And people are really smart about, you know, when they can figure out the combination that you're trying to go for to give you as little time as possible to be able to pull that off. And that's where you're trying to counter that. But nonetheless, this deck is really fun to play, even just in a casual match. And, you know, yeah, you know, I just wanted to show that off, and I hope you guys enjoyed the deck. If you guys got a chance to get around to playing it. And thanks so much for watching, everybody. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't. Remember to subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.